If you've been anywhere near the skincare side of TikTok recently, you have most definitely seen a whole bunch of influencers pushing the Dr. Melaxin products. Usually with these dramatic close-ups, apparently instant results without really seeing any instant results, and very bold claims about what these products can do for your skin. And it's usually not influencers as a whole. I've not seen a beauty influencer review these products. I've only seen TikTok shop sellers in particular talking about this brand. Now, Dr. Melaxin isn't the first brand to go viral, obviously, but it's how they've done it that raises questions for me and actually made me think that they were a scam. Like, are they actually groundbreaking in any way? Are they doing things that these other brands can't do? You know, all their products are being referred to as Botox and filler alternatives, or are they just yet another brand that's happy to lie to get your money? So today I kind of want to break down why Dr. Melaxin annoy me so fucking much, like what they claim to do, what the product claims are, or more so what the TikTok sellers are saying the product claims are, and what are the products realistically capable of doing, and also have a look at this company as a whole, because they kind of came out of nowhere and they're suddenly everywhere. And why do all TikTok creators seem to be saying the exact same thing about their products? And by the end of this video, I want to confirm whether Dr. Melaxin's products are actually legit, why their marketing feels more like a scam, and who's ultimately responsible for the way the brand is being promoted. So before we talk about how they are portrayed over on TikTok by the thousands of influencers promoting it, no, I'm not going to call them influencers because they're not. They're kind of like, they're TikTok sellers, right? I feel like an influencer versus a TikTok seller is something different. Do we all essentially sell product at the end of the day? Yeah, I guess we do. But we do other things as well. TikTok sellers strictly sell TikTok products, right? So before we talk about that, I want to talk about the brand itself and what they actually claim to be. Looking on the brand's website, at least I think it's their website, but I'll get into that in a minute because it gets confusing. Dr. Melaxin is positioned as a clinical, science-focused skincare brand. They say they're not quite pharmaceutical grade skincare, which is generally that prescription only, but definitely placing itself in the derma skincare category, which a lot of K-beauty brands do when they want to sound very legit. Their website describes Dr. Melaxin as a slow aging brand that researches practical methodologies to address aging skin issues such as freckles, pigmentation, pores, and sagging skin. I didn't know freckles were like, maybe that's a translation thing. Maybe they mean like sunspots. And they say that the brand is inspired by vaccines that cure people. I'm not really sure what that means, if I'm being honest with you, because I don't get it. Especially looking at their lineup now, I'm like, what? They also say that they only release products after they have been proven effective through long-term experiments and clinical data by prescribing active ingredients that are truly effective in improving skin. Though I can't see any links to any evidence of this clinical data, so they can't actually prove what these studies are or if they've even done any, in my opinion, looking at their website. Now, none of this so far is of a huge issue, right? Lots of skincare brands make these vague claims that don't really mean anything, often without backing up anything with real evidence. And a lot of brands do their own studies. And again, they're biased. We can't really trust them. Now, you may have seen me talk to death pretty much about Dr. Melaxin products, especially over on TikTok and a couple times on here. But honestly, their products, they're fine. They're absolutely fine. They are perfectly good products. You know, at least the two I've tried anyway. They got decent ingredients in them and they do what you'd expect those kind of products to do. But they obviously just aren't the miracle products so many people online are claiming they are. The problem here is the product claims, the claims that these TikTok sellers are saying that these products can do, rather than the products being some kind of like TikTok shop scam. So to be honest, at first, I did think that Dr. Melaxin was a bit misunderstood, that they weren't necessarily responsible for the scammy way the brand is being promoted on TikTok. But then I looked a little bit deeper, and there are definitely some warning signs that suggest that maybe Dr. Melaxin isn't completely innocent when it comes to these questionable marketing practices. So the whole reason I'm making this video is because I did think Dr. Melaxin was a scam. I actually believed it was a drop-shipped AliExpress Temu brand that was just selling on TikTok Shop, which is quite a common thing on TikTok Shop. And one of the problems start with the fact that it's very difficult to tell which website is the legitimate official website, if any of them are, because there are 5 There are 5 different Dr. Melaxin websites. We have drmelaxinbeauty.com, drmelaxinclinical.com, drmelaxinuk, drmelaxin.us, and drmelaxinsg. If I'm honest, all of them have aspects that make them seem like they might be fakes. So how are you meant to know which one is real? Obviously the US.uk.sg, they're country specific, but there are so many different ones. Some of them may be fake, but they pretty much all look the same. When you go onto their official TikTok, you do see that they have their TikTok shop, they have their Yes Style link, TikTok shop US, TikTok shop UK, and their US mall, and that's kind of it. So it's kind of hard to find which ones are official and which ones aren't. Now, when I did look on these and even their official website, there was still something that wasn't like, there was still something that was making me think this brand was super scammy. Some of them have really blurry banners or other images which you wouldn't expect to see on a professional website, especially from a company making as much money as they seem to be. Most of the images are just stock images of general beauty and people applying products that don't even seem to be their own. There isn't really any kind of like personal branding, I guess, other than their Korean Instagram and their global Instagram now, but these all seem like pretty recent things. So back in the day when I first started looking at them, I was like, who the fuck are these people? Others kind of lack basic details like their business addresses. And although they do have them, they're kind of suspicious, which again, we'll look at in a minute. Their customer service email address doesn't match the brand name. The sites that do have business addresses listed, they're actually a bit strange. They're a bit strange. Me being me, I looked them up on Google Maps and Street View, and they don't look like the kind of places a skincare brand would have their offices. Like this one, for example, the drmelaxin.us takes us to these offices in California, which this doesn't look like anything. These also look like different companies. Like these don't look relevant in any way whatsoever to Dr. Melaxin. And also the one for Dr. Melaxin UK is also in California for some reason, but not in the same place as the US one. It looks like this. So it's really, really confusing. The drmelaxin.sg, which I think is Singapore, right? The address doesn't have Google Street View, but it just looks like a shopping center. And the other 2 sites I found don't have any business addresses listed at all. Then there's the fact that the customer service emails for the US and the UK sites look like they are for a completely different company, brand 501, who, when I looked into it, they are the parent company of Dr. Melaxin. And it looks like they've launched a fair few businesses and brands, since 2017 with varying degrees of success. One of them was a men's grooming brand called Barber 501, which was fairly popular in Korea as far as I can tell. But Dr. Melaxin is really the only brand that has taken off for them. It seemed like in the early days they did things like nail stickers as well, which was kind of interesting. And they've won a few awards as well. So by now, I'm done thinking they're a scam, and they seem to be pretty legit. But I did have a look at their website and all the photos from their offices, and their office space just looks weirdly empty, which I thought was kind of strange. I don't know. Are they new to this office? Have they just moved in? There literally isn't a single person or any kind of like lived in feeling to any of these photos. I don't know. I just find it a bit weird. Maybe I'm overthinking all of this, right? It's not that unusual for a cosmetic brand to have a parent company. Of course not. But there's just something that feels off about their websites as well. It seems very sparse, and all in all, really, it's probably just unprofessional and not very well done. Like, I'm pretty sure by now this brand can afford to have their own models and kind of do their own kind of like product demonstrations. But yeah, it just felt a bit like Wix for me. You remember Wix? Like they made it themselves and just got some stock imagery, which I never trust a brand when they can't have pictures of their products being used on their own website. I find it very weird. Most of the websites also use the slogan, "because you're worth it." Which is obviously the L'Oreal slogan, and I'm pretty sure it's trademarked. So things like that always make me skeptical, but the only one that doesn't use that slogan is the drmelaxinbeauty.com site, which I briefly thought might be the legit one, but every time I open the site or click on the link, I get a warning from my antivirus software saying it thinks it's a fake site, so that's probably not the real one either. I think this is just the common case of Dr. Melaxin blew up so quickly, so many people took note and thought, let's make a fake website, let's get people buying our fake products instead. And it kind of worked because I ordered a few of their pill shots from TikTok Shop and other websites, and they were all fake. But look, even if I could work out which one was the legit website, all of them are using clearly photoshopped before and afters, confusing and very unverified statistics, and making inaccurate claims about what the products can do, all in an attempt to mislead consumers, just like what's happening over on TikTok. And it's the same on the Dr. Melaxin Amazon page, which I'm pretty sure is the real page for the brand. I think think. But they're still making those misleading claims, as well as using confusing statistics from their own clinical testing and questionable before and after images over on Amazon too. So as much as I want to give the brand the benefit of the doubt, it seems pretty likely that the dodgy marketing practices we see from TikTok shop sellers promoting Dr. Melaxin are actually coming from the brand in the first place and are encouraged and then just super exaggerated by the sellers themselves. But Dr. Melaxin wasn't always as sketchy as they seem now. So let's take a quick look at how the brand's TikTok journey began and how they got to where they are today, because it looks like they started off as a fairly normal brand with a shit website, but fairly normal. But when things weren't working out for them, it seems like they stopped focusing on clinical branding and started pushing a more dramatic and misleading image, I guess you can say. It does feel like this brand came out of nowhere, to be honest, right? One minute I had never heard of them, then all of a sudden it seemed like everyone was talking about them and they were all over TikTok and you couldn't escape the sponsored content. The brand was actually founded back in 2021, but they didn't launch on TikTok until September of 2024. So they've only been on there for a little over a year and they struggled to gain any noticeable traction on that site at first. The early posts weren't really connecting with people in any way. It was mostly generic footage of their products being randomly pulled out or played with, along with those unverified statistics from their own clinical testing. Again, every brand does that, but it wasn't exactly eye-catching to say the least. But after about 6 months of this kind of content, the brand seemed to realize that they'd have to change things up a little bit if they actually wanted to stand out on TikTok. So they started posting footage of people actually using their products and the alleged results that they got from it. And this new style content focused on doing what seems to work best on TikTok, misleading people with dramatic fake results and inaccurate claims about what their products do. And unfortunately, it worked for them. It worked for pretty much every brand. I feel like Medicube were the pinnacle of this. They are the blueprint of how brands should grow on TikTok Shop. And it really didn't take long before this new style of content started getting them significantly more attention. It was around this time that the flood of influencers talking about this product started as well. Obviously, because they launched on TikTok Shop, the commission was good, so people were jumping at the chance to start selling this product. And since then, it's just got worse and worse and worse, with the claims becoming more and more outlandish and the amount of people selling these products for the brand skyrocketing like crazy. As I mentioned, you cannot escape it now. If you go on TikTok and search Dr. Melaxin, almost every single post that comes up is an ad. Nearly every single review of this product has that tiny little commission paid tag in the corner, that yellow shopping basket, and pretty much all the ones that don't are people debunking the misleading claims made in these videos, like one from myself. So let's go on to these misleading claims, right? Because I've been talking about this. I've been saying, oh, misleading claims. Brands and influencers selling products isn't a new thing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing either. I think as long as it's done in an honest way, with integrity and not misleading consumers, sell whatever the fuck you want. Make the money you need to make. But let's get into exactly what claims are being made about the brand on TikTok and why I have an issue with what's going on and why I just think they're feeling scammier and scammier by the day. Okay, let's talk about what is probably the brand's most popular product line and most annoying, the Dr. Melaxin pill shots. And this applies to both the white rice and the black rice versions. I would be very surprised if you haven't seen at least one video about this product if you're on TikTok, because I see it everywhere. I still see it everywhere. It's haunting me. You cannot move on TikTok lately without seeing these posts pushing this. Even people like Cardi B and Jeffree Star have jumped on the bandwagon. Jeffree Star sells any old shit nowadays, so that's not surprising. Okay, let me play a few of the adverts for you and see if you can guess what my issue is with the way it's been marketed.
What happens if you exfoliate every single day?
Well, you would probably peel off so much dead skin that your skin would be sensitive and irritated, which is very concerning to me. All jokes aside, you probably use these kinds of peeling treatment because the blackheads and dryness were really bothering.
But our Dr. Melaxin Peel Shot line is different because it targets blackheads and removes it by gently exfoliating dead skin cells.
If your pores love to hold on to all of the dirt and all of the grime, I love to use Dr. Melaxin Peel Shot directly on that. All you have to do is rub it in and it's going to get all of that dirt and gunk out of your pores. Do you see that coming out? That's what's in your pores. Do you see that? It's completely exfoliating my skin and clearing out those nasty pores.
So you might already know what I'm gonna say, right? I think us skincare enthusiasts, we know what a fucking gommage pill is. We know Dr. Melaxin's pill shot does not draw out blackheads and other impurities, and those little white balls on your face aren't your skin being peeled off. We know this. We know this. This is a perfect example of Dr. Melaxin becoming a skincare brand for people who do not know skincare, which is fine because that's not just who skincare is for, but that comes with the intention of misleading, in my opinion. And to be fair, brands have been marketing these kind of products in the same misleading way for years now, and claims about drawing out impurities or that the balls are your dead skin have been debunked countless times, yet we're still seeing brands tricking people with these lies again and again and again, and people are believing it because that's exactly what it looks like. So these products are called gommage pills. They contain cellulose or carbomer, which when you rub it on your skin, it clumps together with the help of surface level oils, dirt, and some dead skin cells, forming those little balls that you see. Then as you continue rubbing, it's those little balls that gently exfoliate your skin. So technically it's dead skin. There is some dead skin on those cells, but they're microscopic. You cannot see them to the naked eye. The majority of what you're seeing is that cellulose, but brands love to make people think that they are actually flakes of dead skin being peeled off, which just isn't true. I'm not sure that would even be legal to sell. And it definitely isn't like drawing out whiteheads and blackheads like a fucking vacuum or any other toxins or impurities. Skin is not a sponge and pores are not little holes you can pull debris out of. This product is perfectly fine as an exfoliant though. It has mild chemical exfoliants in it like PHA and BHA, and like I said, those little balls act as a gentle physical exfoliant, but it cannot draw anything out of your pores. No topical product can. I originally wanted to give Dr. Melaxin the benefit of the doubt here, right? Brands can't always control exactly how people promote their products, but given the fact that so many of these videos say pretty much the exact same thing about this product, making the exact same claims, it seems likely that it's all part of the script given to creators by the brand, or maybe not a strict script, but an outline of what they need to talk about that includes this misleading points. Because when you go onto the website or you see how they're selling on TikTok Shop and you see the claims that this brand is making, they are using the language that the TikTok sellers are just repeating and then exaggerating. Some of their own promotional material shows you one of those cellulose balls and says real skin or something like that, when it's not, it's just not. And this is all over Amazon, all over TikTok Shop, and what I presume is their official website. One of their other popular products also has very similar issues. If you've seen posts about the brand's Semenreet pink spicule serum, then you've probably heard people claiming it's somehow a replacement for dermal fillers and even Botox. As I'm filming this is the one that is everywhere and people are doing the same shit over and over. It's infuriating how many people are copying each other and calling this Botox and filler.
Life can actually change when you realize you can actually get lip fillers, under eye fillers, vampire facial from skincare. Listen, I knew Korean skincare was good, but I had no idea that products like this even existed.
My life changed forever when I realized that I could get lip filler, under eye filler, and a vampire facial all in one without having to drop thousands in the med spa. Listen, I knew Korean skincare was good, but I had no idea that products like this existed over there.
My life changed forever when I realized you could get lip filler, under eye filler, and vampire facial all in one. Listen, I knew Korean skincare was good, but I had no idea that products like this even existed.
So they have that calcium ingredient, hydrolyzed sponge spicules, and Ribonic, which is their patented ingredient that's in a few of their products. So cyanocobalamin is just a synthetic form of vitamin B12. It's an antioxidant and it often helps soothe irritated or dry skin, as well as helping protect the skin against barrier damage. It doesn't plump skin, it doesn't add volume in any way, and it's not comparable to fillers as we know. It's a skin conditioning ingredient, not a volumizing agent. The hydrolyzed sponge spicules, as we know, are microscopic needle-like structures derived from sea sponges that VT made famous. They help increase penetration of other ingredients, again, not adding volume or plumping the skin, anything similar to fillers or Botox. And finally, that Ribonic, Dr. Melaxin's special patented ingredient, which is basically just a high concentration of calcium. It's used for barrier support, but just like all the other ingredients, it doesn't add volume or lift tissue in the way they claim it does. I believe most of their claims actually come from how the ingredient is made and not how it interacts on the skin or something like that. This product does, however, contain ingredients that support hydration and surface level plumping. Those humectants like glycerin, there's butane glycol in here, hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid, and tremella mushroom extract. And as we know, hydrated skin often looks fuller, but this isn't anywhere near what you'd expect to see from fillers, as we know. Again, it's a perfectly hydrating serum. It's fine. It isn't a replacement for dermal fillers. That is just another misleading claim, a marketing gimmick. And again, I feel like they're really targeting the people who are new to skincare, new to K-beauty, and I feel like it's turning the whole K-beauty world into like a laughing stock because it's making K-beauty look like tacky, trendy, stupid products, you know? The latest Dr. Melaxin product that I unfortunately want to talk about is kind of currently their latest trending viral product along with that spicule serum. And this is their semenrite calcium stick, which people are also claiming is a replacement for Botox and filler. They're calling it the Korean Botox stick, but that is it. It's a moisturizing stick balm. That's all it is. It contains emollients, waxes, barrier-supporting oils. It's all pretty standard. It's gonna soften your skin and lock in moisture, but that is literally it. It does a good job at doing it. I've got it, it's decent, but hydrating and moisturizing your skin is going to plump out your skin if you do it consistently, especially if you haven't been hydrating your skin well before, which a lot of people who are new to K-beauty haven't been. So if you have dry, underhydrated skin, you are going to notice a difference almost straight away with this product. But this is surface level hydration, not wrinkle removal or structural replacement of volume in any way whatsoever. Like, there are some good ingredients in here. What do we have? We have adenosine, which is going to help with fine lines over time. Tremella mushroom extract, again, hydrating. Jojoba seed oil, good for hydration. Listen, it's a decent moisturizing stick. It's quite nice to use over a moisturizer in those areas where you're drying out a little bit, but that is it. Topical products, as we know, even ones with Dr. Melaxin's special Rebonic calcium ingredient, cannot make structural changes to your skin. Dr. Melaxin seems pretty set on this path of achieving TikTok virality by misleading consumers with lies about what their products can realistically do. And even if it's not them directly doing it, they don't seem to have an issue with the way their products are being sold. The examples I've talked about today are just some of their most popular and talked about products, but I've seen the same thing happening with their other products. There's an eye cream as well that people are doing this shit with. Almost every video I've seen that talks about Dr. Melaxin in a positive way either exaggerates or outright lies about what the products are capable of. And unfortunately, this doesn't seem like a case of a brand losing control over the narrative and failing to stop creators from promoting their products in a misleading way. To me, it seems pretty clear that this is an intentional strategy on the brand's behalf, and a strategy that a lot of brands seem to be following in the footsteps of. I can understand why they're doing it. It's working for them really, really well. Reports claim that the brand made $23.7 million through TikTok sales alone. That's in the year between their launch on the platform in September of 2024 and August of 2025. And a large part of that came in August alone. Apparently, Dr. Melaxin made a huge, ridiculous $12 million in sales between July the 25th and August 23rd last year. And it was all part of a marketing push that involved them gifting their pill shot bundle to almost 10,000 TikTok creators, selling just over 300,000 units as a result in that 30-day period alone. With success like that, it seems unlikely that Dr. Melaxin are going to change their tactics anytime soon. They seem perfectly fine with lying to you as long as it makes them money. And as I said, this seems to be the way that a lot of brands are going. So Dr. Melaxin probably isn't going to disappear from your TikTok feed anytime soon, unfortunately, but just try to be aware of how brands like this and the creators that promote them try to trick you or mislead you in their posts. And I'll be honest, a lot of these creators who are selling these products don't look any different. They're like, look at the results, and there is no results. Or they're like, I've been using this for a month now, and you go back, what, like 5 videos or 2 months ago, and they've never even mentioned it, which is usually fine. But when there's commission involved, you're like, you're just trying to sell that. And even if there is a noticeable change, it's just a temporary effect, which is fine. But if someone's trying to tell you that they got this instant result that is also long lasting, they're probably lying. And these are all issues you have to worry about when it's the actual legit brand we're talking about. There are still countless of fake versions of Dr. Melaxin out there. Aside from the multiple questionable websites, there are also fake TikTok accounts, Instagram accounts, all selling fake Dr. Melaxin products. So if you are buying these products, please be careful. Make sure you're buying them from a legit site. As I said, they're fine. They're fine. I mean, I wish I could tell you which ones are legit, but I can't. It's really confusing. Now, finally, I just want to clarify one last time. I don't think these products themselves are bad. I'm sure there are plenty of people who are using them and love them because they get decent results. They're gonna work on a superficial level. My issue with the brand is the misleading claims they make about what their products can do and the fact that they're just pushing it and not correcting those who are selling their products. If you buy their products with realistic expectations of what they are, then that's fine. I just don't want people to feel disappointed or ripped off because they bought Dr. Melaxin products expecting it to be Botox or filler, because it's never going to be. But this is the issue for me, is like when brands do this and their products are okay, it makes them look scammy as fuck. It makes them look so scammy. Sure, they're making a shit ton of money now, but in the long run, aren't people buying these products because of these claims, using them, and then being like, well, this product doesn't fucking work. When it does work, it's just not doing what the TikTok shop sellers said it was gonna do, because they were lied to. I wonder how much of a long-term strategy, a good long-term strategy, this actually is. You know, but that's all I have to say about this brand today. Let me know how you feel about it though. Do you think I'm making a big deal out of this? I feel like we are all well aware of the absolute bullshit that goes on over on TikTok. Have you seen these videos? I'm pretty sure you had. Did you think they were suspicious? But also let me know if you tried any of these products as well and what you actually think of them. But yeah, leave all that in the comments down below and hopefully I will see you next time.